And if you don't do your job, you don't get paid. That's what Governor Quinn is telling lawmakers by suspending their pay. And he says he won't accept his paycheck until a pension reform bill is signed and passed. ABC News Channel 20's Mike Brooks joins us live from the Capitol with tonight's top story. Mike?
Governor Quinn and his representatives had been asked repeatedly in recent days what the consequences would be for lawmakers if they did not pass pension reform by Quinn's deadline of July 9th. And this was probably one of his worst kept secrets, with most lawmakers expecting exactly what he did today, and that was to completely remove lawmakers' salaries and their stipends from the state budget.
They cannot take time away and ignore this issue. They must have that alarm bell ringing in their ears. And the best way to do that is to hit them in the wallet.
Not surprisingly, Governor Quinn's veto of lawmaker salaries hasn't been very popular with most lawmakers.
It should be about pension reform and leadership. It shouldn't be about gamesmanship. It shouldn't be about playing games with people's lives.
You know, I mean, this is something you expect on a playground of a third grader when the teacher wasn't looking. You know, it's just a stunt, and it's unfortunate.
But Senator Sam McCann says he understands the sentiment.
This state is bankrupt, so who would pay a board of directors and a leadership team for that? So if the question was about who should get paid, I think Pat Quinn should return his salary from the last 10 years, quite frankly.
Representative Rich Brower doesn't see this move helping the process.
Instead of coming down and working with us when we had the conceal and carry, when we're talking about pensions, when you have the committee, he chooses not to, and then to complain later that we don't get anything passed, and at that same time he hadn't participated.
Senator Bill Brady's a member of the Pension Conference Committee. He doesn't want to rush through a bad bill to meet a deadline, especially when they're so close.
And we can't do our job properly without the facts that we're going to get next week from the actuaries who will score the reforms, and we'll meet next week on those reforms and scoring and be able to make an informed decision.
Illinois Comptroller Judy Barr Topinka's office has asked for a legal review of this veto. According to a spokesperson for her office, there's a big conflict here. That's because they can't write checks if there's no appropriation. But at the exact same time, the Illinois Constitution says you cannot reduce the salary of lawmakers during their elected terms. And they hope to have a decision by August 1st. That's the date that lawmakers would receive their first paycheck of this fiscal year. Reporting live at the State House, Mike Brooks, ABC News Channel 20.
Thanks, Mike. Senate President John Cullerton released a statement today saying in part the governor's actions today are as unproductive as yesterday's arbitrary deadline. Responsible leaders know that unworkable demands will only delay progress. And House Speaker Michael Madigan had a much different response, saying the governor's decision follows my efforts and I understand his frustration. I am hopeful his strategy works.